Hi, welcome to Gene Rants. I'm Gene, and today I follow up on a story that I talked about a few vlogs ago. Bari Weiss. I guess I have to remind everybody who she is. Well, a lot of you probably already know who she is. She was an editor at the Wall Street Journal. Then she was an editor at the New York Times. And, well, as you can tell by her last name, she's Jewish. Bari Weiss is Jewish. And when she was at the New York Times, she was constantly being harassed by her co-workers, her far left liberal co-workers. The anti-Semitism got too much for her, and she left and started a Substack called the Free Press. And, well, what it's known for, I mean, some people don't like it, but 1.5 million people do like it at $10 a month subscription, so you figure it out. $10 a month, 1.5 million people paying $10 a month. That's 15 million a month. Multiply that out. So you're talking about a lot of money, and that's why Paramount bought the Free Press. Free Press is now part of Paramount, and she is now, as of, I believe, the day before I'm recording this, which is the day before you're seeing it, the editor-in-chief at CBS News. And liberals are very panicked about this because it's kind of interesting because I looked her up on Wikipedia because I wanted to make sure I had the background right about editor at the Wall Street Journal. Wasn't sure about that. But she's described, because that's another problem. The co-founder of Wikipedia is up in arms about Wikipedia's bias. Editors there are liberals, and they don't, for instance, you cannot, if you cite Fox News, you can cite MSNBC as a source for something on Wikipedia, but if you cite Fox News or the New York Post, they delete it. That's how biased they are. So, and actually, Elon Musk is starting an alternative, more just as he did with Twitter. He bought it, turned it into X. It used to be that, conservatives were banned from Twitter. Now, as it's X, more people, everybody can speak freely. So naturally, liberals have left, and they went and started something else called an alternative called Blue Sky, which is not doing nearly as well as Twitter. But Musk is starting something called Grokpedia, which is going to be an alternative to Wikipedia. So I am waiting eagerly for that. But getting back to Bari Weiss, she is the same deal. Free Press they entertain a lot of views. She does interviews, or other people also who write for Free Press do reviews. And she is, the reason I mentioned Wikipedia, I have to get back to that for a second, is because in the very talking about bias, she is described as a conservative journalist. She's actually, she was an editor at the New York Times. She's left of center. She is in no way. She's also a lesbian. She has a wife. She is in no sense a conservative. And she's not even centrist. She's a little bit to the left, but she's fair. She listens to, you can go on YouTube and find all kinds of interviews with her, or just get on the email, the free email, blast that she sends out every morning. That's free. You have to subscribe to get in depth, all the stories, but you'll have an occasional story that you can read. It's right in the email. You get an idea of her. Anyways, she is now the part of the deal, which is 150 million, by the way. So talk about sweet revenge. She was forced out of the New York Times as an editor, and she started since then, and she started, I think only 4 years ago, started this Free Press Substack, and it was just sold for $150 million. That's got to be a very sweet revenge. And on top of that, Paramount owns CBS, and Paramount made her, as part of the deal, by the way, Paramount, it's either Paramount or Skydance. I forget which is the parent and which is the child. So you can correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, the point is that the head big cheese honcho, big enchilada, is David Ellison, who little trivia. He is the son of Larry Ellison, who is the CEO of Oracle and the second richest man in the world after Elon Musk. And a little while ago, they switched places, and Larry Ellison was the richest man in the world for a while, richest person in the world. And she is now the editor-in-chief. That was part of the deal. She is now the editor-in-chief of CBS News, and she's going to presumably apply the same principles that she is applying, and she'll still be the chief, the head of the Free Press too. So she's not leaving. So she's doing both, but she's going to apply the same policies, doctrines, principles, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that she has been using at Free Press to the CBS News. So hopefully, what I'm hoping for is that you'll get some fairness, at least some balance. And it's not so much how certain stories are reported, though that is important, but reporting stories that the other ABC and NBC that they bury. They just don't report certain things. And a test, you can let me know. I don't watch CBS News, but or either of those three large networks. So you can let me know. The big scandal right now, it was just revealed that the FBI during the Biden administration was tracking phone calls of 9 U.S. senators. Needless to say, the senators are very well. A couple of them, Chuck Grassley, Ron Johnson. I don't have the whole list on top of my head, but it would be interesting now that she is the editor-in-chief to see if that story is reported. And that's what I'm really hoping for, is that CBS under Bari Weiss will start reporting stories that these other networks bury, and by her reporting them, if the stories, as they say in the biz, if a story has legs, then force the other networks to cover it too. Their coverage may be biased, but they won't be able to avoid it. So I'm very hopeful for that. And what gives me hope especially is that she sent an email to the staff at, to the people at the Free Press to announce that she was going to be the editor-in-chief, and also what she would be doing there. She put out included in that email is a list of 10 principles that would guide CBS News. And I expect a lot of liberals at CBS News to quit, which would be a wonderful thing. Replace them with some people who are more fair. Anyways, I just want to share the list. So let's go through it right now together. 10 points. Here's the list. 1. Journalism that reports on the world as it actually is. 2. Journalism that is fair, fearless, and factual. 3. Journalism that respects our audience enough to tell the truth plainly, wherever it leads. 4. Journalism that makes sense of a noisy, confusing world. 5. Journalism that explains things clearly without pretension or jargon. 6. Journalism that holds both American political parties to equal scrutiny. That's the point I'm personally really looking forward to. Hope she carries through on that. 7. Journalism that embraces a wide spectrum of views and voices so that the audience can contend with the best arguments on all sides of a debate. Another thing I am really hopeful for, and I hope she follows through on that. She may have to fire a lot of people to achieve that. Godspeed, Bari. 8. Journalism that rushes toward the most interesting and important stories regardless of their unpopularity. 9. Journalism that uses all of the tools of the digital era. And finally, 10. Journalism that understands that the best way to serve America is to endeavor to present the public with the facts first and foremost. So, as I said, that is an excellent list. That is what she does at the Free Press. So let's hope that she does. As far as I know, I'm not a subscriber, so you can actually disagree with me. That's what the comment section is for. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's a hypocrite. Who knows? I mean, That's not the sense I get from her, but we'll all know soon enough. CBS News from what they choose to cover, number one, and which is something I learned. I actually took Journalism 101 way back in my college days, and there are two ways that that journalists or news well, in those days it was newspapers mainly, can show bias. Number one, by the way they cover stories, and number two, by what they call gatekeeping, or the gatekeeper theory, where they don't report. It's not biased reporting, they just don't report certain stories that they don't want. They hold from the public things that they don't want the public to know. And as I said, that is a wonderful list, and I wish Bari Weiss Godspeed. We'll just have to see what happens. She's just started 2 days before you're seeing this, so it's going to be a little while. And I assume that there's going to be a lot of commentary and reviews of CBS News, how it's faring under, well, how well it's doing, whether it's increasing the audience for CBS News, because that was the one problem. CBS was, because of their bias, they were losing viewers. That's simple. So that's number one. But number two, the coverage, the news stories, what they choose to report, and how they report what they report. I'm sure there'll be a lot of reviews about that, a lot of comments. And if conservatives and moderates like it and liberals hate it, then you will know, and they're already panicking. Liberals are already panicking over this. Then if liberals hate it and the rest of us like it, then you will know that she is doing the right thing. That's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Your comments, always welcome in the comment section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.